What if I told you that everything you believe about money is an illusion crafted to keep you enslaved? Imagine standing at the edge of a vast digital abyss where shimmering numbers flicker like stars, and you realize those numbers aren't real. They're a phantom, a mirage designed by unseen architects in a world eerily similar to the Matrix. Today we embark on a journey beyond the veil of currency, into the hidden philosophy of monetary illusion that governs our lives. In this video, we'll pierce the shimmering surface of banknotes and digital ledgers to uncover the ancient wisdom and modern machinery that conspire to convince you money is tangible. We'll trace lines of power from forgotten temples to marble banking halls, revealing how elites have encoded monetary control into our collective consciousness. Along the way, you'll learn how this grand deception shapes your choices, your freedom, and even your very perception of reality. Prepare to confront haunting questions. Is wealth a substance, or merely a story we all agree to believe? Can you break free from the system without toppling society? Join me as we decode the secrets of the Matrix's financial software, unlocking insights that will forever alter your relationship with money. Stay with me and let the unraveling begin. Long before banknotes slipped from imperial treasuries, before digital credits flickered into existence, ancient seers understood that value was first conjured in the mind. In the ziggurats of Sumer, cylinder seals recorded barley rations and silver rings, yet it was the sacred act of inscription itself that bestowed worth. The Mesopotamian priesthood guarded these proto-ledgers as arcane formulas, teaching that symbols on clay were more potent than the grain or metal they represented. Across the Mediterranean, the mystery schools of Egypt whispered that Thoth, god of writing, had gifted humanity the power to transmute belief into reality. Money, they hinted, was an alchemical solvent of consciousness. Fast forward to the shores of ancient Greece, Plato's allegory of the cave described shadows of firelight dancing on limestone walls. What if those shadows were the price tags of experience, the flickers of commerce guiding our shadows through life? Pythagoras and his disciples taught that numbers form the backbone of the universe. Yet those same numbers, when appropriated by merchants, became shackles. Gold, once revered as the star metal, lost its divine status as it was poured into coin dies, stamped with the effigy of emperors who claimed dominion over both realm and spirit. In medieval Europe, alchemists and Rosicrucians probed the nexus between spirit and matter, seeking the philosopher's stone that could turn base metals into gold. They recognized that the true transmutation lay not in lead, but in perception. To strike a coin was to reforge collective belief. Guilds and merchant families wove these teachings into a tapestry of contracts, bills of exchange, and letters of credit, veiling the mystical core beneath layers of legalism. By the time the Knights Templar amassed wealth writ large, the illusion of capital had become more real than the gold itself, held in vaults yet flowing invisibly through Europe's burgeoning markets. This philosophical lineage, etched in clay, ink, and metal, was gradually erased from public memory, reserved for initiates of secret orders. The true power of monetary illusion lay in its invisibility. When most believe money is tangible, the spell deepens. Now, as we stand in sleek glass towers illuminated by digital displays, we inherit an age-old riddle wrapped in encryption and interest rates. Why has this knowledge been hidden? Because whoever masters the belief code controls the matrix itself. Imagine you're offered two pills. The red pill shows you the machinery behind reality. The green keeps you comfortable in blissful ignorance. The philosophy of monetary illusion is the red pill for our economic lives. At its heart lies the consensus code, a silent contract written in the collective mind. When you greet a 10-pound note, you're not touching paper. You're acknowledging an agreement among millions that those intricate patterns possess value. First, consider the symbol-reality disjunction. In an ancient parable, a sorcerer carved a dragon into a mountain of clay and convinced villagers it guarded real treasure. So too does fiat currency. Governments decree that ink and thread are legal tender, and we bow to the decree. Yet beneath that decree is no intrinsic gold or silver, just faith. Next, we meet the credit alchemy. Banks in hushed boardrooms create money ex nihilo. A promise to repay becomes purchasing power, as if words alone can sculpt real wealth. Picture a grand cathedral. Each loan is a vaulted arch and every deposit a pillar. Combined, they hold up a dizzying nave of commerce. yet collapse if belief falters. Finally, the invisible chains. Interest rates, compounding like ivy, bind borrower and lender in a silent dance. You borrow, you pledge future labor. The system siphons your time as interest. Most never see the tendrils until they're ensnared, working not for calling but for credit. These core concepts, consensus code, credit alchemy, invisible chains, are threads in the tapestry of monetary illusion. But the tapestry hides deeper paradoxes, and not all is as it seems. What if true freedom lay in rewriting the code itself? We'll explore that next. Beneath the gleaming surface of our consensus code lies a paradox. The very instruments designed to liberate us become our shackles. Enter the duality of debt. On one side, debt is a bridge, enabling dreams of homes, businesses, and innovation. Yet on the flip, it's a mirror reflecting society's collective anxiety, where each IOU carries the weight of a promise that can never be fully repaid. Ancient alchemists spoke of the Red King and White Queen, entwined in eternal embrace. Here, debt and desire are inseparable, locked in perpetual transformation. Now consider the myth of abundance. Modern economies tout infinite growth, yet our planet's resources are finite. Banks conjure money to fuel expansion, yet that very expansion strains ecosystems and communities. It's a Sisyphean dance. We push the boulder of prosperity uphill, all the while draining the wellspring that sustains us. Finally, the cipher of liberation. Hidden within the matrix of money are protocols older than any central bank. Mutual credit systems, community currencies, gift economies. In tribal societies, shells and beads weren't wealth. They were invitations to communion. Today's blockchain pioneers echo that ancient wisdom, coding trust into decentralized ledgers. But beware, technology alone cannot free us if our consciousness remains ensnared by scarcity thinking. By acknowledging these deeper truths, the duality of debt, the myth of abundance, and the potential for genuine liberation, we begin to see cracks in the facade. Tomorrow we'll step through those fissures into practical rituals and exercises that let you reclaim your sovereignty over money itself. Now that the shadows have been lifted, it's time to step beyond theory and embody the philosophy of monetary illusion in your daily life. These aren't mere tips. They are ritualized practices to reprogram your relationship with value at its very root. 1. The ledger of consciousness. Each evening, sit in stillness with a journal. Instead of logging your expenses, chronicle moments when you felt scarcity or abundance. Describe not only amounts spent or earned, but the emotions, beliefs, and stories behind each transaction. Over time, you'll map the hidden narrative that governs your financial choices, revealing whether you operate from fear of lack or trust in flow. 2. Sacred credit circles. Gather a small group of kindred seekers, friends, colleagues, or community members. Establish a simple mutual credit system. Members extend small, interest-free loans of time, skills, or microloans of currency, tracked on a shared ledger. Honor each commitment with ceremony, a candle, a spoken affirmation, so that every loan becomes an act of covenant, not contraction. This practice dissolves the invisible chains and revivifies money as a social sacred medium. 3. Visualization of the infinite well. Twice daily, close your eyes and imagine a wellspring of abundance within your heart. With each breath, see coins of golden light rising from that well, flowing into your hands, then radiating out into the world. Feel gratitude as the current returns to the source, knowing that value circulates in a cosmic exchange, not a zero-sum ledger. 4th, alchemical offering. Choose one tangible possession, a coin, a note, or a digital token, and consecrate it as an offering to your higher self. Hold it aloft. Speak aloud your intention to transform your perception of wealth, then place it on an altar or special spot. Each time you pass by, touch it and reaffirm your sovereignty over the illusion. By weaving these practices into your life, you transmute money from a source of anxiety into a mirror of your inner state. You will discover that true wealth arises not from accumulation, but from conscious participation in the grand consensus. reshaping the matrix from within. You were never meant to be a servant of symbols. From birth, you were inducted into a matrix of monetary illusions, a system so seamless, so total that even questioning it felt like heresy. But now, the veil has parted. You've seen how ancient priesthoods, secret orders, and modern banks all spoke the same silent language. Value is belief, and belief is power. You've glimpsed how currency, once sacred and ceremonial, became hollow and abstract, detached from earth, spirit, and soul. You've walked through the corridors of credit alchemy, felt the invisible chains of debt, and seen the myth of endless abundance laid bare. But more importantly, you've awakened to the truth. The system depends on your participation. Without your belief, your effort, your consent, it collapses. You are not a pawn within the economic grid. You are a node of consciousness capable of rewriting the code. Each act of mindful spending, each sacred offering, each refusal to succumb to scarcity, these are your lines of resistance, your spells of freedom. And so the question remains, will you continue trading your soul for numbers on a screen? Or will you reclaim the throne of your own value, your inner gold, and transmute illusion into sovereignty? The matrix is not a place, it's a lens. Change the lens and the world rearranges itself. This is not just economic advice, this is alchemy, this is liberation. If this message stirred something ancient within you, don't let it fade. Share your thoughts below, speak your truth, and if you're ready to dive deeper into the mysteries, join me in the next chapter of our awakening. The illusion is breaking, but only if you dare to see.